Hello, hello, hello. Hey there, everybody. How you guys all doing? My name is KG Prestige, and welcome everybody once again to another edition of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my buddy Alpha Evie are going to gather around to go and talk about the things that have happened within the past week, at least for the anime side of things. Yeah, of course, as always, folks, on every Fridays or Saturdays or whenever the hell we have a chance to do these kind of shows, we tend to sort of discuss about a couple of things that have gone on within the world of anime. And of course, for this season in particular, we're going to be reacting to Snafu. So it is going to be a very interesting show for tonight. We're going to see how this episode of Snafu goes. Will it break our heart like every other week, or will it do something else? We will find out momentarily. But everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, let's get ourselves into it. So, Evie, you there, buddy?
Yes, I am, sir. Yes,
Alrighty,
I am.
sweet. So let's get ourselves excited and motivated to discuss all that we need to discuss for anime of this season, man.
Yeah, of
Especially,
course. Always looking forward to talk more anime.
I know, and man, I'm just gonna say this right now, Evie. I'm very happy we waited till today to do the reaction and reviews for certain shows.
Uh,
I'm just gonna say that right now because
yeah.
the Misfit episode that dropped today, whoo
Mm, that was a
boy.
that was a good ass food. I'll
Dude,
tell you that
if you
much.
ever wanted to feel satisfaction on something for an anime show in particular, that episode recently just nails it 110%. But we'll obviously talk about that soon. Yes, Omar, I actually did hear this not too long ago. Princess Connect Redive, I think we just talked about this about a week or two ago.
Right.
Recently got confirmed its second season to be coming out sometime in the distant future. That was the
Oh
biggest
wow.
coincidence for me because I just started watching it and suddenly about a week or two later they're like, "All right,
Hey,
come for
season
the
two.
announcement. Yeah, season two is coming." And listen, man, I'm excited for it because I enjoyed Princess Connect Redive the first season. I love the cast of characters. I love the setting. I love the just everything about it. And to see that it's going to be getting a second season coming up real soon, it's exciting, and not only just for that show. It's like for a bunch in particular. I know. What was it? The Dragon Maid anime was confirmed to be having its second
Yes.
season real soon.
Yeah. So that's coming right around the corner. I believe it's gonna be named Dragon Maid S.
Yeah, something like that. They've been pushing this whole S gimmick.
Yeah. They explained why they named it why they named it Dragon Maid S. I just forgot.
But yeah, it makes me very happy to see that it's getting a second season, especially knowing the events that have happened not too long ago with the unfortunate incident over at KyoAni. But to
Kyoto.
see that
Yeah,
they're
Kyoani.
still,
Yeah.
pushing forward and continuing to release a new season for the show without the original person responsible for creating the series, it's a little unfortunate. But I think the folks over at KyoAni, they know what they're living up towards, and hopefully moving forward, KyoAni can continue to release fantastic and phenomenal shows
Yeah.
for us to remember. And I'm just glad to see Dragon Maid
Yeah.
got a love for a second season, man.
Oh, of course. I'm with you there, buddy. Because I think Dragon Maid is one of Kyoani's more famous works, and so far we're seeing Dragon Maid, and hopefully there's some other shows that are gonna eventually make a comeback soon. So, but I'm just glad Dragon Maid and the staff working on this anime aren't backing down despite the tragic events that happened last year. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait once we get more information about the show and maybe even the trailer soon. And then whenever the trailer drops, obviously we'll, be here to go and talk about it. But yeah, so
Right.
so much to look forward to within the future. As of right now, though,
Yeah.
this season has been pretty, in my opinion,
It's been pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah, it's been pretty solid.
Yeah.
We had a good lineup. What do we got? We got, well, for us to discuss anyway. Obviously, we got Misfit. We're obviously going to be reacting to Snafu. We're going to be discussing,
Rent a
uh,
girlfriend.
yeah, the Sim Show. Of course, can't go
The
forget
Sim
about the
Show.
Sim
Yeah.
Show. And I
And
think that's really it for now. I know there's some other shows we could discuss. Like I know you
we could
had
like
plans
sprinkle them
to.
on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little ones that I don't think are worthy for like full on discussions, but just something to kind of just slap in there if we have extra
Yeah.
time, of course. Because with
Yeah.
Snafu normally taking an hour, the other two shows, especially Misfit now recently have been lengthy discussions now, especially given the fact that we have to talk about not just one, but two episodes. Being the
That's
one that
right.
aired today, and of course the one that we didn't discuss last week. So we're going to be doing our best to talk about as much as we can. And without further ado, let's get right into the show. And you guys talking about Mommy Chan? Listen,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
get into
Yeah,
that in
we'll
a
get
bit.
into that soon. But I guess before we hop into the reactions and all that, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go set things up. Evie, how's your day been though?
It's been pretty good actually. Since we're in the topics of anime, since of course this is the anime a pod, so I do want to say this, and I tweeted this out a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? But anyways, point being, I finally finished up watching an anime known as Samurai Champloo. KJ, are you familiar with that?
Yes, actually, I forgot who it was that brought it up the other day in our group chat. I think it was probably either Tyrone or Terrell. Uh, they talked about it a while ago, and I never personally got the opportunity to watch it yet because I have a
It's a really
catalog.
good
But
series.
I've heard very, very good things about the show. So, uh, I guess you've enjoyed it overall. How'd you think of it?
Oh, it was really good anime. I can definitely understand why people were, you know, I can understand the hype about it without a doubt. Um, One of the few things that you'll really enjoy about this anime, KG, when you if you ever get into it, is that you really fall for the characters. Like once you start this anime, like I believe in the first few episodes, you start to see this chemistry and the connection between the three main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And what essentially this anime is about is that there's this girl. I forgot her name, but essentially, she dragged along these two swordsmen who wanted to find a samurai known as a samurai that smells of sunflowers.
Yeah.
And yeah, so essentially, she brought those two uh, characters with her along on a journey. And along the way, of course, they come across, pretty much the corruption that existed back in ancient Japan, um, the samurais and whatnot. But it is really good. You'll really enjoy the fight scenes. The comedy is also really good there. Like if you enjoy a good laugh here and there,
Mm-hmm.
I think Samurai Champloo would definitely hit you up with some of that good stuff.
That's
And
awesome
the
to hear.
music, yeah, and the music too. Now, if you have you heard the opening for Samurai Champloo,
No, I have
KG?
not, unfortunately. I've not heard anything or watched anything regarding the show, only because obviously I'm going to probably save it for whenever I do get the opportunity to watch it.
Okay, okay, yeah, thank you, Donnie. It's Fu. Yeah, that's the main girl. So, okay, so let me tell you about the music, KG, because it's an unusual choice for music, but it works out so well. So, you know how because Samurai Champloo is categorized as a history anime.
Really?
Um, yeah, it is. Yeah, because it existed because it takes place around the Edo period, I believe, which
Mm-hmm.
is takes place like around the 1800s or the 1500s, somewhere around there. Um, but when it comes to historical anime, you get to hear music that sounds like historical, right? Like you get to hear this ancient Japan music and whatnot, right? That's what you'd expect, but this anime actually centralizes itself around rap and hip hop,
What the heck? Really now?
and honestly, it works.
Hey, listen, man, that already got my attention for sure because, first of all, it's an original kind of concept in itself, man, you know?
Yeah, and and I guess it's the music too that keeps on bringing me back to watch. That brings me more invested into the series too, because it's something unusual, but it works out so well.
Indeed.
So yeah, I definitely I highly recommend Samurai Champloo KG if you ever get the chance to watch it. You'll really like if you want a series that um if you're a sucker for character chemistry, um and if you want to give a damn about these three characters, this show is definitely for you.
Oh, sweet. Then, well, like I mentioned, I might definitely give it a shot whenever I have enough free time for it, of course, because boy, it's hard to catch up on a lot of anime I've been cataloged in the
I know,
site.
man.
And even
I
now with
know,
the
and
new ones coming in, it's like a little tougher. But I'll definitely add it into my list of shows I need to watch for sure. So I'll keep that
good
in
man.
mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about like switching to another anime that I wanted to watch, but I don't want Samurai Champloo to end up like the other anime that I didn't finish
You
watching, you
watch
know.
and then you just immediately forget like 10 days later.
I just didn't want that to happen. So I'm like, no, I gotta finish Samurai Champloo before I get into another anime. Which,
Oh,
speaking of which,
hmm
um, thanks to all you people who voted on my Twitter poll, looks like the next anime I'm gonna be watching is a very famous one known as Steins Gate. So that's gonna be
You're
next on my
finally
watch list.
watching Steins Gate, this lad. All
Yes,
right,
I am.
let's see how you react to it when you discuss it sometime later down the road. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, so that's just my little random review for an anime that I've been watching personally on my own
What
time.
and just to remind everybody, what's the name of it?
Um, the one is called Samurai Champloo. So let me go ahead and type it out on the chat
Yeah.
here. Oh, actually, Donny Yarns has the title there.
Now I know Steins Gate has
That's
some
it.
games available on consoles as well. I'm not sure about exactly what the hell it is, but it exists, so that's something, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, Omar. Yeah. We briefly talked a little bit about it on Terrell's channel, but yeah, rest in peace, Kiss Anime.
Oh yeah.
It had a good
F
run.
in the chat for Kiss Anime, an illegal streaming service that everybody grew up with, now gone. Oh no, what do we do? Well, I know there's other
Whatever shall
streaming
we do?
sites that I'm not going to tell you guys that I could go watch shit on. Listen, man, I know people say streaming on illegal sites is, well, illegal. There's just one
hmm
problem. Not all sites, like official ones, like Crunchyroll, Funimation, Verve, you name it, will have
hmm
access to every single anime available out there.
Yeah, that is the only upside. If you
Exactly.
guys, yeah,
So if
if
you're
you guys
wanting
ever
to
want to do
watch
that.
like those classics, those that are very difficult to even find at all,
hmm
you know for a fact Funimation or Crunchyroll or any of the big heads are not going to go and license those on their streaming platform. They're going to keep that thing to the side and ignore it. So this is where illegal sites kind of come in to help save the day by having these anime shows that are pretty hard to find anywhere be available for fans to enjoy. So it has its ups, it has its downs. You know, at the end of the day, it's either or. You know, you pick your poison with that at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. So, so yeah, that's what happened over the weekend. So, rest in peace, Kiss Anime. We still got other sites out there which we will not disclose.
Exactly. We have a list here, but just to make sure, we're not going to disclose it for everybody's safety. Yeah. But I believe also aside from Kiss Anime, I think they also mentioned that Kiss Manga was also gone as well, because that was also a part of it too.
Well,
I
a
think.
real. Well, I guess any other websites affiliated with Kiss Anime would also be taken down. I assume.
Pretty much. Oh man, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. I was surprised because
Ding the Donnie. Yeah,
it
that one.
was trending. That this site being taken down was trending everywhere. I was blown away by the fact that people managed to make it trend. I'm like, geez, people must really love this sort of thing.
Yeah, so yeah, I remember yesterday Kansas Anime was trending, and then today, I believe a few hours ago, Crunchyroll was Crunchyroll was trending, and I'm like, well, why is that? Well, it's simply Crunchyroll users just trolling Kids Anime users, or any other
Yeah, vice
pirating users
versa,
for anime.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's a battle of the legal versus the illegal, and that's just how it is. All right, then.
hmm
So, Evie, I got myself set with the camera. Everything looks to run a-okay. I am ready and good to go. But before I begin, though, Evie, are you set to go?
I am looking for the anime right now. Give me just
All
one
right.
second.
Hey there, everybody in the chat. All right, got my camera all set. You know, it kind of feels funny to have the old one here beside me. See, this one was the one I used back in the day. This is the Logitech. I think it's called the C920 or something like that.
I
But
don't want to play with you anymore.
yeah, I did just casually throw that shit to the side. But
Yeah, that's up.
yeah, so it's kind of nice to see that we're slowly evolving a little bit time by time. But hopefully the camera looks okay, etc. All that jazz. And I also, don't worry, guys. In case of
Right.
emotional shit happen in the show, I have my little guitar to play some sad tunes with here. Of course, we always have to carry that with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm set to go. I'm
Me
excited
too.
to watch this. I can't wait to finally see what happens in this episode because the preview from last week got me intrigued. Something about a speech happening today. Whether or not that speech
I
is
had
going
a
to be
dream.
super impactful or not, it's going to be up to debate. But that's why we're here, because we're going to go and discuss the said show. So, Evie, I don't know if you managed to get it yet. Have you?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Just give us a countdown, buddy.
All right, just to make sure, obviously we want to make sure we're both starting at the beginning with the TBS logo, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. So everybody in the chat who wants to tune in with us, of course, follow the same format we've been doing like always. Counting down from 3, 2, 1, and reacting to the episodes. No footage here because obvious reasons we can't do that. Otherwise, we will be screwed, and we don't want to
Yeah, we go.
be screwed in some way, shape, or form like this. So we're gonna go and react to the newest episode of Snafu Season 3, Episode 6. I think we're in the 6th episode, I want to say.
We are.
Alright, we are in the 6th episode. So let's get to it then, boys and girls. And hopefully we'll have a fun time with this session for tonight.
Yeah, let's have a fun time, you guys.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
All right.
Let
So,
me just put this away. There we go.
okay.
Alright, so, ready, Evie?
Yeah.
Counting down.
Let's do this.
Counting down, everybody, from 3, 2, 1, go. Let's get to it, ladies and gents. Oh,
All right.
man, I'm not ready. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be ready for anyway. Wait, are they just recapping what happened 2 episodes ago, or... Oh, never mind.
No, this is a different.
You don't
It looks similar, though.
Yeah, like, literally, he's now finally walking back to his home this time around.
Right.
But, what's happening
Yeah, so just a little review from last week's episode. Hajimon did propose a little competition between him and Yuki Non.
Yeah, and now they're going to be clashing
probably
with
would
each
be
other.
Mm-hmm.
Yui is still behind the wall crying.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if they turn to the right now, it's, oh my god, I thought she was pointing at Yui for a second.
She has a fucking puddle beneath her at
Yeah,
this point.
I was like, holy shit, I thought for a second. I thought she was pointing to Yui still crying on the floor. I'm like, no!
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good joke though.
Oh my god. Good jump scare.
But what kind of speech are we getting? Are we getting the I Want Sunday Genuine Part 2?
Listen, man, I don't know. I don't think there can ever be a scene that could genuinely beat the genuine scene. That was at the right moment, at the right time, in the right situation. How do you plan to top that?
I know, man. That you can't help yourself but to like support Hikigaya after that speech, man. Like his character skyrocket after that moment.
And it's crazy because that
Honestly,
was
one
like
of my favorite
literally,
moments.
what was it? At the very end of the season as well.
Yeah, it was around the end, near the end of the season. So yeah, it was very good timing.
All right,
So
let's look at some
I wonder if
more
we get
cute
something
visuals
similar
again.
here.
I'm actually starting to pay attention to the lyrics that are written in the song. And I'm like, wow, now I'm starting to understand the appeal to this opening in particular.
Yeah.
It's very emotional because, like, all the other tracks are, like, more on the happy note, and then this one's just so somber, man.
Yeah, I know, man. We're getting to the dramatic side of things, according to what I've been told by people.
Yeah. I don't know if we're ready, but let's get to it. Uh-oh, he didn't get his coffee. Oh, no, he did. Never mind. I thought she got
Yeah,
the
they're just
yellow
having
one.
coffees.
Once again, you are the problem. Unintentionally so, but still, you are the problem.
Man, gotta love the visuals.
Oh man, it looks pretty.
You said it's okay, but you were tearing up last episode.
I know, right? You're not okay. Let's be genuine here. You are not okay. Okay, finally, yeah, let's learn about that. Why is this thing coming for the prom? There has to be a reason for this.
We're on episode 6,
Miss
so
Hiratsuka is transferring this year. Wait, she knew about that?
oh, that's the sensei.
Yeah. That's why we
Oh
saw all
shit,
those packages before. Because I assume she's getting herself set to go, isn't she?
that's the look of it. Let's see.
Aww. At the end of the day, though, Sensei is best Sensei, man. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
Sensei is the
she's up
best
there.
Sensei. No, she
Okay.
wants to send them out on a high note then.
Yeah, so she's doing this out of genuine care for them.
No regrets in this show.
So Keiichi, did that alleviate your hate for Iroha? No.
Hmm.
Like just a wee bit
Okay,
slice of labor.
I'll just say I'm not hating her as much, but if she does a stunt though in this show, some point later that
uh,
pisses me off, then I'm taking everything back. She's treading on like thin ice. Let's just say that. Look at that. See right there already. I could say I hate her because she's choking the poor lad. You know what's the worst thing about these kind of shows though? When you get so
what
addicted
is
to
it?
it and then you realize the episode's over.
Yeah, let's not think about that right now.
Yeah,
So
I thought the episode was gonna end then and there. I thought the whole episode took place in that little park.
it's been a while since we've seen these two together in a house.
Yeah, right after everything that happened in the first few episodes, it's nice to see them back. Hey, kitty.
Let's splash water on it. No.
Yeah, look at that cute fat cat though.
You could pet the cat and snafu. No.
What is this, a video game? Well, I mean, there is a visual novel for this game, so.
Yeah. I just like how there was this random tweet that in Twilight Princess you could pick up the cat and then like people were raving about it.
Eat with classmates. Yes, even your mortal enemies. Hmm. One, two, we boys. One, two, and we girls will graduate. Well, that was pointless.
Well.
Well, hopefully. Hey, he makes a commitment. He knows for a fact that prom's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. I just want to be clear. Do you hear the audio on my side,
No,
or
no,
are
no,
you
no
good?
audio aside from just your voice, buddy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, look who it is.
Aww.
Yeah, he can't get over that.
Nah. Is he gonna bring it up or? Yeah, he is.
Uh,
You guys are like, all right,
He's like, nah, you ain't. Nah, you're not okay, girl.
nah. Damn.
Yeah, you might want to have to break it down for her.
Oh no, is she? Well, I mean, yeah, she theoretically can help as long as it's not helping Yukino in the situation.
Yeah, I thought to myself, well, why not help him?
Yeah.
So
No, you never know. You might slowly swoon your way into Hikigai's heart. Maybe. Maybe. Another?
in other words, just come up with a different plan.
Oh, so they're going to try to cancel one thing to prevent the other one from being canceled, I assume.
Yeah.
In other words, don't get fat.
Mm.
That's wrong.
So come up with a less preferable choice that'll make them go with the original plan.
Exactly. It's
It
like
looks like.
either A, you go with the prom, or B, you go with this plan, which happens to be far worse than the original.
In other words, choose your poison.
Exactly. That's awesome to see the students be like, all right, time to choose your poison, sensei. Go ahead and see what
Yeah.
you want to decide. You need to bring in your amigos, man.
I love his fucking voice changes.
I know, right? Like, who out of all people would casually come
Hmm.
in to help out in a plan that has to fail? You know? Like who? What kind of person would be like that? Also, spaghetti. That looks good. I'm just saying. The poor lad is like he's suffering from eating. Man, that hurts still. And I'm not even a Yui fan with regards to that.
That face.
Hey, look who it is! What?
Okay, sorry about that. Had to restart Discord.
No, it's alright, it's alright. Damn. Oh my god. I love this dude, man. He's great.
I don't know, man. I just wish we could see more of him, though.
I know, but I don't think he's in the same. Is he? No, actually, I don't remember. Is he in the same school?
Let's see. As far as I know, he made more of an impact in the first season.
Yeah,
I think.
he was more the comedy guy, which is what the first season was sort of about. Then when you start getting into the emotional bits, it's hard for him to kind of be in there.
Aww.
No, it's so cute. Honestly, I couldn't care less about the prom myself.
Honestly, those three could actually look like siblings.
I
Not gonna
know,
lie.
right? Oh. Come on, I'm just saying, please let
Yeah,
her be
come
the third
on.
girl, damn it.
She should have been the one.
And our well, no, never mind. The canon route is here. Numa Ace.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my god. I mean,
Please don't let this be the last time we'll see him.
oh my god, the way he just walks out, just like, yeah, your king has arrived.
Your savior is here.
Okay, so as of right now, what we know is that our real third girl is going to help Yukino. Our favorite trap is going to give some help to in some way alongside with the tennis club. No idea as to what they intend to do with those characters, but if they're involved, then that means we're gonna get more screen time with them, and that to me personally is the most important bit.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're renting an office to kind of plan things out.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
Disney. There you go, Joe.
Ba Hotel Masuki. Wait.
I just love that she just
Yeah.
casually grabs a towel, and just whacks.
Bonk.
Yeah, yeah. You're waiting to hear the bonk noise effect right then and there.
Hajima compliments fucking Yui's mom. Go to Hornikyo. Bonk.
Genetics truly are amazing, are they not? Aww.
Oh.
That's gotta hurt for her, man. I'm just saying.
Please finish the series like that. Please finish the series like
Credits.
that.
Just credits. You never find out what happens in prom. Wait, what? Damn. Oh my
No.
god. Oh my
Yeah,
god, man. No, oh my
damn.
god. No, come on, man.
Wow. Wait. Oh wait, no, that's just a film, right?
Don't let it
Okay.
end.
Man, you gotta give some respect for Yui
Oh
for
my
actually caring
god.
about her friends.
I'm getting a little teary eyed. I'm not gonna lie from that. I got a
I
little
mean, you gotta
teary.
feel for her, man.
Listen. I already mentioned I go with Yukino because that's just how it's always been. But good lord, man, it's like Yui. She knew from the beginning. She already knew. She saw how things were set in motion. She knew from the beginning that it was never gonna happen. But even
Mm-hmm.
then, she just wanted something at least. Even if it was
Yeah.
fake, she still genuinely wanted something. Which is why
Yeah.
throughout like all these episodes, she always kept saying, "I never believe in in all this and that."
Andy genuine.
Yeah, having
Yeah.
anything genuine because if I do believe in it, then I'll never get what I want or something. And
Yeah.
now here it's like she already admits it, but for now, all she just wants is just to not let it go.
She just wants. Yeah. She just wants something good out of this, pretty much.
Even if she
So
knows it's never gonna happen.
yeah.
And I guess now here comes the pre. Also, that episode went by fast. God damn it!
All right, that's what happens next.
Unless there's more, unless I'm unaware of it. Oh, what? Oh, thank you so much for the follow. But
Oh,
Jesus,
it's him again.
this episode.
Oh, they're all back.
Yeah, look at that. What the hell is going? What the hell is going on in there? Oh my god. Also, thank you there, Evil Hunter 90 as well for following. Yui Gahama will continue.
Watching over them. Man, okay,
So now
so
she basically became the wingman. Cheers from Italy. Wow, thank you guys so much for the follow. I was surprised by that. Thank you guys for real. And
hey, they saw you guys.
thanks for the support. But I know you probably just came in an awkward time in regards to like how we're handling things. We just finished watching our
Yeah,
latest episode of the recent Snafu season, and without that, we're obviously going to go and talk about it in just a couple of minutes. But man, that ending was sad. I'm just going to say that right now. That ending was just very sad. Thank you for the bitty bits, though. I absolutely appreciate it. But
woo!
Evie, so wow, what a way to kind of close things down for this episode, don't you think? I wasn't
Yeah, man.
expecting this outcome.
Yeah. So on 2 weeks ago, we already knew that Yui was basically admitting that
She lost.
she lost, that she probably won't be getting anything out of this for herself.
Mm-hmm.
But coming to this episode, at the end of this episode, it seems that she's already set on what she wants out of this relationship
Oh, thank you
that
for the
she
100
shares with.
bits.
Woo! There we go.
Thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. But let
Man,
me just
getting
go and
some
hop
Italian
back
love.
into our other little section here real quick. So hold on just a
Yeah, go right
second.
ahead, man.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
let's continue on our shenanigan talks then for this week's episode of Snafu. I apologize, Evie, for butting in, but
No, you're
please
good,
go on
man.
ahead. Continue with what you got to say for this week's episode.
Yeah, so as I was saying, it looks like Yui is set on what she wants to do when it comes to helping Hachiman and Yukinon, and making this prom idea happen. And she's just hoping that she could watch over them. As the next episode title, pretty much says, she'll continue to watch over them, even when this is happening, and probably after this is all said and done, man.
Yeah. I think what we're
Yeah, and
witnessing now is just her knowing the truth, and instead is going to be like, well, if I can't do anything
like,
about it now, then instead I might as well do something else, that being help my friends out. Because I think she personally enjoyed when they were all together than with what they're
more,
feeling as of right now with them being so separate from each other.
yeah, yeah, but
But Jesus, man,
man,
I'm still so sad for Yui. Yui didn't deserve this. And if you're
I know,
like a
man.
big Yui fan at all, just hearing the pain that she has to go through is just like, it had to happen. But God, you just wish something
Like,
else would have came out as a result. You want everybody to have a happy ending, and here she's like, I can't.
I know, man. Like, both girls, I think, should deserve some happiness out of this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see Yui being in this phase, like, you just can't help but feel bad for her, man.
No,
You
you
just gotta.
can't.
I know, man, because I mentioned this before, but you gotta understand that even if you do support Yukinon, you gotta understand that Yui, has she's pretty much like the best friend to Yukinon. She's been there for her, even during the roughest of times,
Yeah.
and you know, and the fact that she's going through this pain right now, like how can you not feel bad for her?
Man,
So
I'm just like, okay. I guess to just kind of continue on with that little talk there. Oh wow. Look at the chat.
Get it?
Hey there, chat.
Yeah, I see it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think my thing about this is that we're in the halfway mark. This is where things are gonna
Shit,
get
dude, we
interesting.
are.
Yeah, this is
We're in
episode
episode
6. We
6.
are now in the halfway mark of the show. Evie, I just have to ask you, what do you personally think about how the story has been
Hmm.
handled so far, writing wise? You know, with like
Oh,
the
it's been
first
really
half
good
of
so
the
far.
series.
Yeah, it's been really good, man. So far Netflix hasn't disappointed me when it comes to the direction of the story. Season 1, season 2, and even into this season, man. Like you could clearly understand where the writers how the writers want to handle this season of the storyline. How they follow, especially how they follow it up with past events, and you know bringing those events and implementing them into the current events that are happening right now. Um, so far I've been really enjoying it so far, and even the characters. Following the recent events of seasons 1 and 2, you can still see that they're still growing and at the same time improved versions of themselves. So yeah, so far I've been really enjoying this series so far, man. It hasn't disappointed me, which I expected as much.
Yeah, it has not disappointed me in the slightest, and I'm very happy that the series direction has just vastly improved. And I think that's also because of the fact that we've waited for so many years now for a new season, and not just any season, the finale season. So, uh, man, it's just the more that time passes by, the more each episode continues to go by, the more pain that we as viewers, as well as those in the show itself, have to sadly endure. Because now that now that all this happened with Yui, the only thing I can just ask is
Hmm.
what's gonna happen with Yukino, because it seems like what we got so far, Yui's story has ended. So what's gonna be the case for Yukino's story?
Well, pretty much at this point, it's just pretty much development towards the prom,
Yeah.
because we've already seen last week's episode that Yukino's role, it, throughout the rest of the season, it looks like it's her focusing on the prom, focusing on her personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
to prove that she doesn't need to rely on her friends, and shown that she's gained a lot of independence as a way to demonstrate that to her family. In Yui's role, from what we got in the recent episodes, she's accepted that unfortunately it looks like she lost, but she's still willing to help out Hachiman and Yukino in any way she can, so that they can continue to stay as friends and keep the club running and bring her happiness, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now that we've identified those two roles with these two girls, um, now now I believe we're now heading towards making these two plans coming to fruition. And I'm actually curious. Look, remembering next week's preview, that one of the student counselors that from the other high school were, of course, Hachiman's former middle school crush, is now going to return to this season. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we're seeing them again.
Yeah, you would think that
So
they would kind of just be brushed off to the side, but nah, here we are.
yeah, so it kind of makes me wonder. Like, I'm guessing they're probably there to um, have their intake, to have their take on this whole prom idea with the high school, or like they're probably gonna make some sort of contributions. I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, um, other than that, though, I don't really think I have much else to say about this episode. Other than, yeah, I think now heading into these next few episodes, we're not gonna have focus on make this prom idea
I think it's more
come
so
true.
we're just trying to finish off everything for Yui's whole emotional roller coaster of a journey, to now
Hmm.
start focusing on the main event itself, because the prom is the big thing. This is all leading up to that now.
Hmm.
and the writers, the animators, everybody knows that this is a big deal, and hopefully, with these next few episodes, they can deliver on that.
Right.
For now, though, yeah, that's
Yes.
also going to be my take on the snap review. It's not like I know there was a lot of great scenes, like with the Iroha scene at the very beginning of the episode, to say, uh,
Oh yeah, that's
go on.
yeah, that's another no, but I would that's another thing too. I think Iroha was really good in this episode.
I think so too. I think she genuinely understood Hachiman's side of the story here with what he wants to do. You know,
Hmm.
and it just makes me glad to see that Iroha is getting development, Yui's getting development, and even the other characters that we've neglected in the second season are also getting development here too. Because obviously we got to see our favorite trap come in. We got to see our true third girl, in my opinion.
Hmm.
It was nice to see that I don't know, does she genuinely have some sort of feelings for him? Because I love
um,
that she kind of like brushed off that compliment that she got from Hachiman.
I want to say she does, but she just doesn't want to like
She doesn't want to put it
admit
in the
it.
front though, but I'm just saying though, I
Yeah.
would not mind if that turns out the route to be for this series. And hey, I'd be a happy lad. She's truly one of my favorite girls in the show. So yeah, she did it.
Hell yeah, man! And of course we got what's his name? Of course, the best boy in the series. The man the man that knows all, the man with the glasses. Please let him come back. You can't tell me because honestly, I didn't like the way he was treated in the second season. I think we only had
Two
like
maybe.
one or two episodes with him. Please let him have some sort of role with this Prime idea. Please let him help him out with Hachiman.
Dude,
It would be a really
if
nice
he's the
guy for.
one that seals the deal for this whole thing, then that's gonna be a big moment. Because honestly, and this is my fault because like it's hard to kind of like say his name, but Zaimosuka or Zaimokuza, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Hmm.
He's just great. I just like him so much. He's a funny character.
Yeah, he is, man. And since this is pretty much the climax of the series, please remind the folks, remind them of the friendship that Hachiman had with this man before. If they could if they could like bring this back up again, if he could be like a huge help to this prom idea, I think that would be a really nice way to camp off their relationship in this episode. In this series, I mean.
Oh, agreed wholeheartedly, man. I can't wait. I'm legitimately excited for whatever the next episode's gonna provide for us. All we just gotta do now is
Yeah.
just simply, well, wait. So
Yeah, we just gotta wait another fucking damn week.
another
But
goddamn week indeed. All right, so that's gonna be our take for the recent episode of Snafu Season 3, Episode number 6. So
yeah, 10 out of 10 episode as always. That's not
always,
gonna
always
change.
gonna be
Anyways.
that way, man. 10 out of 10 for sure. Now I guess the thing we should probably go and discuss is in
Yeah.
regards to the other anime shows. Obviously, there's a lot to
Yeah.
go through. Um, so
Let's
let's see.
let's talk about Misfit because we got two episodes to catch up and talk about.
I just want to say this once again for
What do you think?
Misfit. I am personally happy that we waited till today to talk about Misfit, only because of the fact that this episode that we just got today just solidified my enjoyment for this show.
And does that also solidify that Anos is the best demon lord? Because I think he is. I think
I
he's
genuinely
definitely up
think he
there in
is.
my book.
Holy damn. Anos he's incredible, man. Listen, I know a lot of people might dislike overpowered characters, especially when they're, I wouldn't say mistreated, but when they're used incorrectly in a show. Because when used incorrectly in a show, sometimes the show's theming and storytelling can go from entertaining and interesting to downright boring,
Yeah.
you know. But,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the most important thing is if you manage to actually understand what kind of story you're writing with an overpowered character and make both the setting, the locations, the characters, and the story all phenomenal, then when the OP stuff come in, it delivers 110%, man.
And this is the case with Misfit, man, because it is a completely different taste when it comes to overpowered demon lords. They see, because what those other animes tend to do is that they tend to demonstrate like this whole one-sidedness, whether you're purely good or you're purely bad, and that you're just really powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just wanted to display that. No character development, no like chemistry with these other characters, nothing of the sorts. But this one's different, man. And I could be more happier than Misfit. It's that one anime that demonstrates, in my opinion, the correct formula in handling these kinds of characters.
Yes, wholehearted agree on that. So I guess the most important thing we should talk about is because this episode that we got today, plus the one we got last week, is actually a part of a ongoing plot because it didn't conclude
It's
this
a
week.
little arc.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week's episode, judging from how things are being written right now, is this sword tournament arc that they're having between Lei and yeah, they changed his name in the subtitles. I don't know if you noticed that
I did.
because
Yeah.
his name originally, subwise that we got from when these episode aired was Ray,
Mm-hmm.
and then the more recent episodes that came out
Yeah, it was
updated
great.
it to say Lei. So now this character, the sword fighter that we got introduced in episode 4, if I'm correct, between the fight of Anos and Lei, that was obviously a really good episode, and many fans were wondering, okay, where is the story going to go next, especially because we knew very little about Lei's character. So
Mm-hmm.
now we get ourselves jumped into the show here with the latest 2 episodes. There is this whole sword tournament arc that's going on, and it seems to be a fight between royalty and hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
So, given that Anos is of a hybrid species, he obviously is going to be on Team Hybrid, where Lei himself is of royalty. However, the thing is, we didn't really know much about Lei's character. All we know is that he mentioned it once or twice. But thankfully, this show, in this week's episode, as well as last week's, they actually kind of dive into the reasoning as to who he is, as well as to why he is participating in this tournament. Because one of the
Right.
biggest twists in this few episodes was that they mentioned that Lei is going to be fighting against Anos again. But this time, the way that things are being structured is it seems like somebody is setting this up for Anos to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the story starts to unfold. But I guess before we get into any further plot, what do you think
Sure.
about the story so far with this? With what they're setting up for Lei.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, give me 1 second. My phone is about to die. I need to grab my charger.
Alrighty.
Ugh. Yeah. So give me just one wee bit second. Okay. So what was your question again? Sorry
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I was just asking, like, what are you thinking about the episode so far with all of the with the information that we got about Lei, his mother in particular in the hospital as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like, what are you thinking about, like, the plot of what we got so far with this series, with the whole sword tournament arc? Like, what are you thinking about it so far?
Right. So with this whole Magic Sword Tournament arc, it kind of makes me wonder, to be honest, a little bit about Lei's character to begin with, because when we got introduced to him, he looks like this guy that he could easily like he's very laid back, easygoing, could pretty much get along with almost anyone, right?
Yes.
And he especially got along with Anos, but because of these past 2 episodes, including today's episode, like I just thought to myself, has Lei always been like this only because of the situation at him? So because it kind of makes me wonder, if Lei's mother wasn't in this kind of situation, would there be this change of character, or what's really going to happen to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's kind of interesting to see how this Magic Sword tournament is pretty much setting looks to set that aspect of the story up. Um, especially what really happened to Lei's mother, because that's another mystery too. Like apparently from what we've got from these episodes, she got inflicted by like this very rare and lethal disease or this curse or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, and there's still a lot of things. Just there's still a lot of things that isn't really 100% explainable based on the situation. So Lei thinks that that the only way to fix this is for him to take part in this Magic Sword tournament and see if he could defeat Anos. So not only does he want to reface Anos again, but depending on the results, how would that affect his character? How would that affect the situation going on with him and her mother?
Yeah.
And especially how would that affect the status quo between you know between these two classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So far I've been really enjoying it so far, man. I really have.
Oh yeah, wholeheartedly. But I think, to me, like the thing I'm really liking so far is just how the story is being written because the OP character himself, Anos, he doesn't use his powers straight up to kind of like kill or anything, unless
Hmm.
something happens where he needs to, then that situation will arrive where he's going to kill somebody or something. But
Hmm.
for the most part, he always seems to try to kind of keep things clean. He doesn't necessarily want things to leave on a sour note. And I like that about his
Yeah,
character because in like
he
the early episodes of the
like
series, they mention that that he just wants peace. Like before he reincarnated himself into the present timeline, all he asked for is peace. That was his thing. And you
right.
you move into this new era, time passed by and all that, and you can see he still genuinely believes in that.
Hmm.
And I love that about this character. It's like he always genuinely tries to find some kind of result that doesn't necessarily end with death.
Like and when death or ended like yeah, like essentially ending death and probably endings like the most cruelest way possible.
Yeah. Like in the first episode, when he just used his heartbeat alone to kill the poor lad time and time and time and time and time again, which was super satisfying to watch. But you can see
Hmm.
he doesn't want to do that. Like he doesn't want to just simply do that and kill the man. He wants to
Yeah, like
also kind of give a lesson included with that.
yeah, exactly. It was more of a lesson, not just because out of pure torture.
Mm-hmm. And it worked. I will say it
Yeah.
works. And that's when we get into this week's episode, the one that just happened earlier today.
Whew.
If you've
Yeah.
ever wanted to see a satisfying outcome for just anything in particular, look no further than with this
The,
episode this week, man. Because
yeah. So we talked about how the sensei from Snafu is one of the best senseis. This sensei here, on the other hand, woof,
oh no, she worse
I think she deserved
sensei.
it.
She the absolute scummy of the scum, man, for real.
Hmm. Yeah, she was, man, and man, did she deserve it. Not only did she deserve it by getting a fucking beat down and getting killed, but what she got afterwards, the treatment she got afterwards, it goes back to the lesson that Anos, goes by.
And man, that to me, I think was what sold the deal for me because, god damn, if you ever wanted to talk about a horrible outcome, boy, that was something, all right.
Indeed, man, indeed, and honestly, she did deserve it because honestly, she's just trying to find some way to put Anos at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Like she even tried to go out of her way to kill or harm Anos' mother, which, by the way, she's the best mother.
Oh hell yeah!
She's one
Oh
of the best mothers of
wholeheartedly, she is
2020.
the best mother. And also that as well is also best dad. Let's not neglect him too.
And okay, fine, best parents of
But yeah,
2020. How
best
about
parents in general,
that?
best parents for sure. 110% agree on that part.
I just want to say this because I just remember something about Anos' mom. How Anos, how initially he was debating as to whether or not he would participate in this Magic Sword tournament, right? Because he was told by one of his what is it? one of his old friends from 2,000 years ago that this tournament was potentially set up as a trap to trap Anos in some situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like how this one dinner scene how Anos was telling his mom that I might not participate, and then she gives her this cute look. It's like, really? Are you sure about that? You know what? I'll think about it.
Yeah, yeah, he makes a complete 180 the moment he sees her mother, and he's like, with that face of yours, no, never mind, I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah,
that to me was
yeah,
great,
and then,
man.
that was dude. And then of course you got Anos's dad, who actually went out of his way. He even bumped his head because of it.
Yeah, he
But
did it just because he wanted to make sure his son would actually have a weapon of some sort for the fight. And
right,
he even stated, I'm going to use the weapon that my dad made. And even proved in that episode there, like, the craftsmanship that his dad used to make the weapon was strong enough to defeat his opponents in even like a minute.
yeah.
That I loved so much. I love it when everything about the character that's so overpowered, you just can't hate the
Mm-hmm.
man. You really can't. There's nothing to hate about him. Yes, the only thing maybe you could hate is just how simple the show has become because of it. But everything else, though, written wise, it is honestly phenomenal. I genuinely think this is a really, really good goddamn episode. And I also have to give some praise
Oh,
as well to another
mm-hmm.
individual, that being of the girls from the fan club.
Yes, individuals, and
Individual
yes,
that
they're
okay,
all the
I'll let you
MVPs.
take this one, man, because that scene to me was just satisfying as hell.
Man, I know, man. Like, when that sensei was about to stir up some shit, right? Um, trying to take away Anos' sword away from his mom. Those girls stepped in and wanted to make sure that they could do everything in their power to protect that woman. And essentially, they're pretty much us, the fan base. You come to her with that mother, we're gonna protect her. And that's what essentially that's what they essentially did. They did everything in their can in teamwork, right?
Yeah.
To stall that woman, make sure that she doesn't accomplish her objective. And they got pretty beat up really bad because of it. And I think at one point, they took so much damage from her advanced magic that I believe some of them did end up like critically injured and in critical condition, and some of them I believe did end up being dead
No, I
because they
think
were
they all no.
fried.
See, the way the whole thing was structured is that they were at first critically damaged, and then
Hmm.
they got burned alive. But they
Yeah.
did it specifically just so that they could protect Annis's mother. And
Hmm.
I think what sold the deal for me personally about that moment was that they sung that one song that they had at the beginning of the recent episode. They sung that to the very end. They went out of their lives singing that song while protecting Annis's mother. And I was so like that to me was like one of the most satisfying moments right there. I loved it because it was like it shows that they were truly loyal to Annis's wishes and everything.
For real, man. And I really like that. Like, I think with this show, we're also at the halfway point in this series. We're in episode, is it episode? No, a little bit past. So we're in episode 7. You can't hate any of these characters. Like, even though they're good or bad, like, you can't say anything negative about it. I gotta say, like, they were actually well written, you know? So, and even if it's just the minor characters, like what you mentioned before, KG, those girls protected Anos's mother, like when they went out of the way to protect themselves, because I thought they were essentially going to be like this, this fangirls, right? Just
Yeah,
regular
just
plain
fangirls.
fangirls. Yeah, they went out of the way to protect them. And they got my respect, and it taught me a lesson that even characters that you least suspect, even if they're minor characters, like they have their huge upside. They have you can't bring yourself to hate them, man. You
No.
just can't.
And I think after this
And that's what I
episode,
like
and I
about the
think
series.
Anos also as well knew that. But I think what really sold the deal for me is after they got burnt alive and then Anos came in to save and like heal them up back to their beginning. He asked individually all these girls one by one and calls them out
Hmm.
by their name the moment that he hears the name and says like, I'm in debt to you. You guys
Yeah.
protected my mother. I thank you for that. And then you see the girls cry. And I was like, for years,
Yeah.
years, 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 I was like so goddamn happy. Like, bro, if you've ever wanted to see a scene that just satisfies you greatly, just from that alone, I love that he individually asked for the girl's name one by one because he wanted to make sure that they get treated properly and understand that their actions are something that means so much to him. And for those girls who have been rooting for Anos all this time, to see them like this though, I can't you can't hate this man. It's so good when he's so fun to watch. It's great.
I know, man. Yeah, he's very humane for a reincarnated demon lord,
I
and that's
know.
what I like about it, man.
Oh, but dude, of course, if we're gonna talk about this, we have to talk about how things wrap up with Sensei in particular. I know you briefly touched upon it, but
Yeah,
but
but let's specifically talk about what happened.
okay, so as you know now, from the very beginning of the series, this one Sensei in particular that we've seen multiple times has had this very questionable
Judgment.
judgment towards hybrids in particular. It wasn't until this episode came out that you begin to learn that she really, really hates hybrids. Like she views them as like the scum of the scum, you know,
Right.
and just does not understand why they exist as to why they're here and all that. So she did not care whatsoever in regards to killing the students, her students at all whatsoever. She just was pretty fine with it because she knew that the people that she was eliminating were all hybrids. So she didn't have to care about a single thing, you know.
Hmm.
And her hatred for them just goes even higher and higher with this because it's like she's willing to not only take out the student's life but also eliminate the mother's life as well because they gave birth to a hybrid, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, this is this, and it gets even worse when you realize that she might have also been somewhat responsible for what happened to Lay in particular, because they talk about in the episode how he may have been not manipulated, but rather
Hmm.
being used as a way to say, hey, listen, we need your power to defeat this man. And if you beat this man, we'll give you something that can come in to help save your mother's life, you know? So
Yeah.
she might
So
have been involved with all of that too because of her hatred for Anos and everything that's happening within the episodes prior to where we're at right now. You could easily say she might have been one of the culprits.
right. So yeah, that was kind of suspected, especially when you find out that uh, Leia, made this sudden switch to become a royalist.
Yeah. So now you get into this episode.
Yeah, but
She's trying to kill, or no, she did kill the students, unfortunately, and is like mere seconds away from eliminating the mother. And that's when Anos comes in, and I just love. Excuse me. I just love
the,
that the sensei begins talking about the hybrids, about them being scum. And what does Anos say immediately after that?
hmm
To just shut the hell up. And he just looks at her with his eyes and just freezes her like in place.
hmm
And you knew for a fact then and there, like shit was
yeah,
about to
that's
get real.
it was at that moment that she knew she fucked up big time because there's this dialogue during that segment that said that normally Anos doesn't like fight based off his emotions, right? But that moment right there, that she jumped the gun,
Yeah. It's
you
like
know
maybe
she
I
was about to
might be
get down.
wrong. You never know. And then just grabs her by the neck and just drags her straight into the stadium, smack in
Hmm.
the middle of the stadium. But not only that, I think my favorite bit was about the fact that Anos froze her in place and just left her
Mm-hmm.
like that for like a few minutes so that Anos can talk to the students as well as his mother, you know. And
Yeah, that's what happened.
also once again just gonna say massive shout out to Anis's mother. She is a strong woman. She's willing to risk her life to save or
Mm-hmm.
to protect what her son values the most. I was like, bro, if you ever want to see MVP mother or MVP father, this series just absolutely nails it for me.
Hell
I
yeah,
just
man.
loved it. They really cared for their son, even willing to sacrifice their lives just to make sure their son could move forward. I'm like, good. I love this show.
Yeah.
Okay, but now let's get to that action scene, or rather, the most satisfying scene in this series so far, because I will say other episodes from this series have done a pretty solid job in being super satisfying, but man, that that
That was a cherry on
that
top.
was that was just like perfection right then and there. So
That was some good fucking food.
here's
Yeah,
what
go ahead.
happens. Now Anos grabs Sensei and drags her ass over to the stadium, drops her on the floor, and immediately summons his sword and stabs her mortally in a particular part of her back that could be devastating
Fatal.
because it was stated that you will die in less than a minute. But if you do want to live, you could swear your loyalty to me by calling me the Demon Lord and all that, the thing you hate in particular. And this
Mm-hmm.
is where things get satisfying because you see Sensei, she's like, hell no, I ain't gonna do that. I will never do such a thing. And then Anos just comes in with the sword and just slightly squeezes the sword more into her body.
Yeah, and she tried to play it off. It's like, okay, like I'll admit what you said. It's like, nah, nah. Like I don't sense any honesty in that.
Yeah.
So what does a man do? Pretty much end that woman's life. But that's not over.
Oh my god. Okay, before we get to that though, I just want to say right now, I would have been
Mm-hmm.
happy even if she died then and there. I think that would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been
However,
great. But
this outcome though was so goddamn good, man. That this was some good food right then and there.
mm-hmm.
Bro, I loved the punishment she got. And
Oh yeah,
this is what happens. She dies, and Anos decides to reincarnate her, but not as who she once was, but rather somebody new. And it's not
and
just simply any new human being. I think this is my favorite thing about it all. You want to go ahead, Evie?
yeah. So not only was she born as a new woman, but she's also been born to a different class. She's no longer a royalist. She is now a hybrid.
And what
Now, like,
makes it
oh,
was so good. I just love that scene so much because it was like, damn, Anos knew how to make the situation better. And she only did not get reincarnated. She kept her memories intact and everything in her new body. She still remembers who she once was.
yeah.
But
She tried to kill
yeah,
herself.
and this is the best part about it all. Anos knew she was gonna be doing that. So what did
Mm-hmm.
he do? I just set a spell on you that if by some chance you decide to try to eliminate yourself from this world again, you will forever be reborn as nothing but a hybrid.
Yeah,
And we're gonna keep it that way until you learn that maybe hybrids truly are not so bad after all. And he just
right.
vanishes then and there. I was
Yeah,
like,
and
so good.
Anos, you evil son of a gun.
He was
I
so
love
good
you.
in that moment, man. I swear to God, I think this might be one of my personal favorite shows of this season. Or rather, this year,
uh,
I'd say.
I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there. Well, man, what an episode! And yeah, well, of course, that wasn't. It didn't. Things didn't have to end that way, of course, because right as the episode ended, we were about to get to the final.
Mm-hmm. And they just
Yeah.
concluded. And I'm like, no! I just wanted to see it. I hate when a show is so good. You want more. And it's like, nope. We're gonna have to wait one more week. But but that doesn't diminish anything that happened in this episode though. In fact, I think it enhanced everything that went down in this episode.
Oh yeah, it definitely did, man. Like this episode definitely delivered.
Yeah,
Like
I'm like thinking
like
about everything, and I guess even about like some of the more impactful moments, like even the emotional bits as well, which we rarely talked
mm-hmm,
about. So I guess we'll probably talk about it now. The mother, and not
mm-hmm,
just Annis's mother. I'm talking about Lay's mother.
mm-hmm.
Her,
Yeah.
she adopted technically Lay, as you saw in the flashback, and was just
Oh
happy
yeah.
enough to be alive to take care of her kid, to see her grow, to see them talk with each other. My favorite bit about this episode as well had to be when they flash back to a particular moment when Lay went to go see his mother, and he says to her, "Hey mother, guess what? I lost."
It's like
I was like,
mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, he found a genuine moment of happiness." And it's so rare to
Yeah.
see that he was happy about the fact that he lost, but you understand why, because in that moment he talks about the fact that he's always suffered at being so good that unfortunately it just makes everything that he does prior to his loss so boring for him.
Yeah, like I can understand where he's coming from with that though.
Yeah, when you become
But
so good at something that now it's like, well, what else can I do?
well, he's essentially one slash man.
Exactly. And he doesn't want to be that. He wants to have genuine moments. And he does have a moment where he's like, oh my God, I can't believe that I lost. And even the mother was surprised to hear that too.
Right.
But yeah, it's just unfortunate to see that I think she died in this episode.
You think so, man? I don't think so.
Because like
I don't think it
even
ends that
even
way.
Anos couldn't find a solution, because the issue comes at the part at trying to figure out in regards to the whole rumor that's going around the woman, but he doesn't know the origin traits, so he can't find a cure for it.
Yeah, but you wanna know what I think though? I think he's gonna find out on during the finals. I
Like
think
in the fight
once he finds
itself.
in the fight itself, right? Because I think what he's gonna do is that during the fight, he's probably gonna for some way, because he's a demon lord, right? He's gonna find some way to look into gain some insight into Lei, and probably from his experience, find that one remedy to help restore his mother back to her normal state. At least that's what I think, though. But
Yeah.
I just don't think she's gone at this point. But we'll see what happens,
Yeah,
though.
we'll see what
Obviously,
happens. Maybe there could be a happy outcome, but man, every other episode though has always had some kind of happy outcome. If this winds up being a sad outcome, I'm gonna feel bad for Lei, because it's like the boy doesn't deserve it. After you see all the flashbacks, after you see everything that's happened to the poor guy, you can't hate the decision that he made about him joining the royalist side, because he's doing it to protect his own family. And then when the mother's
right?
like, "Listen, I'm proud of you, but just live your life. I was happy enough to have you a part of my life, and my journey's over, but yours is just beginning. Live your life, And that's just kind of how they ended off on her.
Hmm.
But we don't know what's gonna happen next week. We just hope that it can be a happy outcome. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. Omar, where the hell is Sasha? I don't know. Like from what I knew, she was still preparing for something, some other event, perhaps. Um, but you know what? Speaking of Sasha, what's the name? Misha. I actually like that little moment between Misha and Anos when they went out on their little date on last week's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, with like the little snow globe esque kind of thing that they were making and everything, and use that to
the
make like
man
a
made
ring for her.
yeah the man made another ring for her. I mean, dude, come on, you might as well just propose to her officially.
Oh, listen, man, Sasha ain't gonna like that though. Misha would
Yeah.
love it, but Sasha for sure, she's not gonna be happy about it one single bit. But yeah,
And can we just talk about how You do remember Sir Ibis, right?
Yes, the cat.
The cat, yep.
Okay,
So my boy cannot transform. He's not just a Green Reaper, but he can also transform into a cat. Essentially,
he's better as a cat than he is as an actual skeleton looking thing. To be honest,
I honestly agree with you with that, man.
I don't know.
Like I don't know why
There's
they just
more
the
appeal
design.
to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
um.
overall, man, this episode was just satisfying. Anos's fan club, dude, made a song about Anos and then sang the song in support of Anos, and then of course singing it to protect their Anos's mothers from Amelia's attack. I think her name was Amelia, the
Mhm.
sensei's attack, and they burned alive just so that they could protect Anos's mother. And I'm like, that was so satisfying to watch. But you knew that, like, because I know the direction of the show, because he's overpowered. You knew they would at least come back in some way, and they did come back.
Mhm.
But the outcome that came out of it, though, you could not hate at the fact that they lived again, because Anos went specifically out of his way to ask for all the girls' name, to thank them
I know,
individually,
man.
to hold it on and feel like I'm in debt to you guys. You guys are now a part of my life, and it's like
Like.
you can't hate this man. I just love this show so much. I love that the show exists.
I know, man.
I'm like, man,
Like,
this honestly. I know this might sound stupid, but this might be my personal year's version of Kanata no Astra in terms of like you just can't hate the
I can see
show.
the appeal.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about like the theming or the setting. No, I'm just talking about from the enjoyment factor.
The overall enjoyment,
This
right?
series is nailing that 110% in my book, man. I'm loving everything that I am witnessing from this show. And I wonder if the chat agrees with me on that as well. Maybe not to the extent of like Kanata no Astra, but this is going to be a show that
It's on
I
a
would
similar
genuinely
level.
come back again and watch again though. So I
I'm
just
with
loved
you there,
everything.
man. Oh yeah, man. Like honestly, wasn't expecting Misfit to be this good, but it just is, man. You just can't bring yourself to hate this series overall once you get to watch it. You know?
Yeah, because like when you first hear about the show, you hear everybody talk about the heartbeat thing and you're like, what the hell is this series about?
Like
But then the more you
like
watch it, the more you understand
like
exactly what's going on. But bro, it's just you love it. You can't hate
yeah, it will.
it.
Just give it a watch, you guys. Like if there's a solid recommendation that what we had to give for this year, we would highly
This
recommend
would
this
be
series
on my
compared.
personal top 5 anime of 2020. Top 5 for sure.
Oh
As
yeah,
of
dude.
right now, this is in my top 5 list of anime from this year. I don't know what number yet. I still have to fix that, but this is definitely up there. It's a very cliche
Look.
show, but it understands it. It's one of those situations where it understands the plot that it's involved itself in and
Mm-hmm.
makes it work to where the viewers can just get some satisfaction out of every episode, man. Like with
Like
the sensei's outcome in this episode, you couldn't say nothing but yes, you know.
I know, man. Like for real. Like out of all these shows, like to recommend for this season, like number one obviously has to be Snafu, right? But with these other shows like Rent a Girlfriend, Usagi-chan, God of High School, all this other good stuff, right? Number two would have to be this anime, man, Misfit of Demon King Academy. I can express that. I can express that enough, man. It's just that good. It really is.
And now my thing is the only thing I'm just asking from this show right now is those 8 girls start becoming a little bit more important to the plot. Because now we
Mm-hmm.
know their names individually. I really would love to see those girls get their own individual stories at some point because you could tell that they have some significance to Anos's life now, and I would love to see Anos just try to make amends with everybody in view each other as equals rather than one being above the other. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, overall, the only thing I could just say is just happy outcome. And now we wait for hopefully, a satisfying conclusion.
Same here, man. And if possible, please let there be a second season. I think this show
This
definitely
show,
deserves
yeah,
one. Even though we're 7 episodes in, we don't know how it's gonna end. But I don't care. We need another season.
I don't care if we get stuff like this in the second season or something like that. If it continues to get this same level of writing, like what we got here, then I'm on board 110% for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right.
Well, overall, I'd say this to me was a solid 10 out of 10 episode. It would be down to 9 because we didn't get the finale, but I'm just going to push my judgment aside because everything else from this episode was just so goddamn good. The mother was MVP, Lay's mother was MVP, the fan club was MVP, the dad with the bump and everything was MVP.
Everyone matters in
Everybody
this
mattered.
show.
The only person who didn't
Well, except
matter,
for the sensei.
except for Sensei, fuck Sensei. Sensei can go die. Oh wait, she did, and reincarnated as a hybrid. So clearly, we got the happy outcome that we rightfully deserved. You heard the manga is good. Well, if it's anything to go with what we're getting right now,
I wouldn't mind reading
I
it.
wouldn't mind reading it. I don't know if I want to spoil myself though.
Yeah.
It
Before this
hurts.
good, would you want to do it?
No. I ain't
don't
gonna do
know.
it though. I want to know the outcome of the fight, but bro, you can't tell me that. Oh my god.
All right. So how about this? Let's move away from the misfit topic before we get ourselves spoiled with this temptation, shall we?
Okay, yeah. Let's run
yeah,
away
so-
from this shit before it gets to us.
All right. Let's run away from this shit. We just ran into more bigger shit.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Sims show.
The Sim Show.
Exactly. Well, see, you're getting it.
I know.
But anyway,
I hate the show, goddammit. Why do I keep coming back to this show every week? I hate this show, but God, I love this show too.
Yeah, it's just the one urge that we can't really explain that somehow brings us to watch this show each and every week.
Okay,
But
first of all, I guess the most important thing we could talk about is that there was no what's the perfect word? Nothing disturbing to watch, I guess, from this week.
Yeah, nothing to stir about, nothing too major, so to say. I'd say it's more like somewhat minor developmental episodes, because some things did happen, but we wouldn't make it like such a big deal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so what we got out of this episode? So pretty much the way this episode starts off. So of course from last week's episodes, Mizuhara and Kazuya did end up staying in the same room at the resort, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just picks up where they left off there. So Kazuya, well, he was essentially thanking Chizuru for, that. Well, first of all, he was like, I'm sorry you had to end up with a client like me, but I've come to realize now that, I've noticed that there's these changes in me. I think I've become a bit of a better person. I still think I can improve. So
Yeah.
he wondered. He asked Chizuru if he could continue to rent her out because of that, because he wanted to improve himself as an individual.
Yeah.
And Chizuru agrees, which I like that, man, because
Yeah, she actually paid attention.
yeah, she did. Because you thought she was asleep because she had her head turned away from him. But that's what I like about that, man, because they're still unsure as to how they're going to approach like their relationship with not just the grandmas but as well as their friends, right? So I just like that even though they don't have to genuinely be in a relationship, they could still like hang out with each other to the point where find ways to help one another, like become better characters,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I like about that, man. I like that little moment that they had there at the beginning of the episode. So yeah, so I like that a lot.
Oh yeah. My favorite thing though is just that once again, Chizuru to me is my favorite character from this show. And it's so weird to say that because she's literally being used for service, which is the whole rental thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another thing I have concerns with the show is that she's supposed to be a rental girlfriend, yet we never see any of that. She's always all the time available to always be with Kazuya.
Right.
And I'm awkwardly confused by that because it's like I know she has her service, but I need to start seeing more about Chizuru's side of the story. You know, we need to start seeing her in her gimmick,
Oh,
which I think
yeah,
they tried to
in her
touch
natural
upon it
world.
in this episode
Yeah.
too, with one girl coming in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the beginning of the episode is one thing, but of course, the main course of this episode was, of course, getting the other girl, Ruka, where she finally made an appearance when she's apparently the girlfriend of Curry, one of Kazuya's friends in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially, Curry asked out Kazuya and Jisoo to a double date, and be and actually before that even happened, Kazuya did run into Ruka before. Um, she
Oh,
just
with the lewd
accidentally
scene.
with the yeah, it's got to be the lewd scenes, you know. So Kazuya accidentally bumped into her, and the way Ruka landed, she had her legs spread, which you could see, the pantsu, right? So, and of course, she was quick to act about it, just call him a pervert, and just went out of her way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we come to the double date, and well, surprise, surprise, Ruka is actually the girlfriend of his friend. And what they wanted to do is that they wanted to do a little rock climbing session, just something fun for everyone to enjoy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's exactly what he did, and um, I just like how this Kazuya's friend was giving instruction to not just Chizuru but also Ruka on how to rock climb. It's like, oh, okay, so you were not here for a double date. You're just really here to just show off, didn't you? um, yeah, so they just had their little fun with rock climbing. Um, Kazuya and I believe Ruka, they're not really the most athletic types, as you come to learn. Where they try to attend at this rock climbing session, but they can't really make it as far compared to the others. So they always end up like stumbling like at the first few climbs, and that's just about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. um, but then there's a little twist that happens like halfway into the day where Ruka wants to tell the Chizuru, and surprisingly, Ruka I got the suspicion that Chizuru is a rental girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Chizuru was just trying to play it off. It's like, oh well, you're probably mistaken. Like, I don't know what gave you that idea, but we're actually dating, or like we're actually boyfriend and girlfriend. And Riku wanted to test that out, see if that's actually believable by having Kazuya and Chizuru do a kiss right in front of her. And
Oh my god,
Jupiter wasn't
yeah, where
having that.
they like had a little moment where it didn't look like they
Yeah,
wanted to kiss, but then of course Chizuru comes in and she's like, "All right, let's make this happen." But we're gonna have a little something hiding in the background, that being that phone
uh,
right there.
yeah. Like let me pull out my phone. Let me put my index finger and like in between our lips. So that way it looks like we're kissing.
But this
And
girl, she started to slowly think about it, and she's like, "Yeah, they aren't really dating."
yeah, it's like no, I actually wanted to see it. You didn't have to like put your phone up. It's like so I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
So like fuck, like you think that'll work, but nope. Um. So after that happened, they just decided to part ways. Yeah, it's a good thing too because Kazuya doesn't want Riku or Ruka to to further question them, right? Further question their relationship and Chisuru's occupation as a rental girlfriend. So they pretty much said their goodbyes, and Kazuya's friend went off to see Ruka as she's heading to the subway. And see, I don't know why this man does the most questionable things. But he wanted to clear. He wanted to clear. He thinks it's a good idea to go find Ruka again and try to clear things up. When clearly the best possible solution is for you to just mind your own business, just walk away like nothing ever
I
happened.
know,
But
right? And what does
I
he
swear to
do?
God, this man,
None
dude.
of that. He decides to
Like no,
make the situation worse for everybody.
like no. Let me just like clear everything up. That that we're not really what you think we are.
Also,
And
somebody in the chat mentioned, yeah, that Ruka's voiced by Nao Toyama, otherwise known as the voice of Yui from Snafu.
you went from Snafu. Oh, well, there you go.
But first impressions, though,
So,
I will say, with this new girl, not
mhm.
bad. No hate towards the girl or anything. Just sort of there, you know.
Hey man, look, I mean, design wise, I also like her a lot more than Chizuru.
Yeah,
If you ask me, I have a deep
personality
like her
wise, I'm
woman.
kind of
But
enjoying
anyways,
her character. I like that she's really forefront with a lot of the situations in hand, you know. And the only thing now is just more so just learning more about her character. But I already can get an idea as to what they're probably going to do with her. They're probably going to reveal that eventually she actually was also a rental too, because the way they're kind of like foreshadowing a lot of the
hmm
plot, it makes it sound like she's a rental pretty much herself.
yeah, because otherwise, how would she find out about her, right? Like, how can she easily find out that Chizuru is a rental girlfriend? So there's gonna be like some sort of like a small clue to give away, right?
Yeah.
So you might be right on that. You might be right on
I
that.
guess we'll find out
Um,
soon, though, in regards to the whole Ruka plot later down the road. But for now, for a setup episode with her being introduced here, I enjoyed it. Not bad. Not bad at all.
oh yeah, same here, man. Same here. So pretty enjoyable episode overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So I'm look.
I don't have anything more to add other than I'm interested to see how next week's episode's going to turn out. And it looks interesting
Yeah.
because it's like now she's going to really start
Well.
pushing everybody's buttons, you know?
Yep. Yeah. I'm looking at the voice actor list here. Yeah. Same voice actor as Yui. Oh, so that's pretty interesting.
All right. Well, I guess with that, I don't think we have anything else to really talk about. I know it's already getting
Well.
late as well. So, but if you have
Yeah.
anything,
So
though,
it's.
would you like to bring up?
Uh, I mean, like I know I had to suddenly leave from last week's podcast. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for leaving out of the blue. I had to take care of a very important errand last Saturday. So, but let me. By any chance, KG, did you talk about last week's episode of Usagi-chan? Like,
Uh,
I'm not gonna go over it, but like,
I
there's just
briefly
one
touched
moment.
upon it, but I said nothing really interesting about it because it's just sort of,
Yeah,
you know, it's just sort
yeah,
of
it's
there.
subjective, right? Yeah, but but a round of applause for for Usagi-chan for giving up that fucking chocolate mint speech. That was
Yeah,
amazing, by the
she
way.
had a full discussion about that for like 7 or something minutes, and oh, like, bro, who goes this far for chocolate mint?
I mean, look, man, look. I had the same questions. I had the same criticism when it comes to like mint flavored like sweets or ice cream. So it's kind of like when she's giving out the speech, like it kind of like me scratching my neck. I'm kind of a little bit ashamed that yeah, I do have the same mindset. So it's like, and so there's that from last week and this week's episode. By any chance, did you watch it, KG?
With this week's episode of Uzaki-chan?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. And I will say right now, ooh, fan service episode.
Woo! Man, fan service all around, and ladies and gentlemen, the cat is back.
Oh yes, and the cat man, not
Thankfully,
not just once, but a couple of times in this show.
but a couple of times in the most convenient
My
moments, of course.
favorite bit was like they had like this cute little moment play in the background, and then you just see the cat like at the side of the house.
Yeah, you're talking about the end of the episode,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm like,
Yeah,
really? So
yeah.
the cat to me was MVP, of course, as usual for this episode.
Man, the cat never died. Well, even if he did die, he had now
No,
life,
don't
so
worry.
we're still
No,
good.
don't worry.
We're still
They'll
gonna
look
be
up in the
good.
clouds and it'll be a cloud shaped as the cat's face there.
Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just those little minor things I wanted to talk about. That I didn't really get the chance to talk about last week, but Other than that, I think we're just about wrapped up. Fun little session we had tonight.
Yeah, and I'm overall I'm excited to see what the next episode has in store. But for now, it's you know, very simple. Very simple episode.
Yeah,
If you like a beach plot episode, I think this episode did it for you. But if if you're not a big fan of Usaki-chan, it might not really go your way. It's once again another one of those shows that is fun to watch, hard to really talk about though.
right.
And it's not necessarily the
But other than that,
story's fault or anything. It's meant to have just been watched, and that's really it. But not really discussed in any full on way, you know.
right. So, like we said, comedy is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of whether or not this fits your kind of taste. So yeah. But that's just my thoughts about Osaki-chan. And I believe KG. Anything else you want to add on to this session, or we could just wrap it up from there?
No, unfortunately, my favorite anime in terms of like the Monster Girls doesn't air until tomorrow, so I have nothing to say in regards to that. I'm excited to see the next
Oh, okay.
episode. I will say though, the show is still pretty. Actually, no, I didn't talk about last week's episode because it aired on Sunday and we had the show on Friday. Let's just say two horse girls really start getting full on lewd in the in the more recent episode, man, and it gets so
Hmm.
because it's like, listen, if you marry to this woman here who's a princess, technically we are like her subordinates, and therefore that means we also technically become your lover as well. And I'm like, what? so
Well
let
then.
me just say like this: the doctor ends up getting sandwiched by two horses, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was a scene.
Yeah.
Also,
All right. Well, that was enough
they
context.
managed to find one of the horse ladies' fetish unintentionally as well. It seems like she loved the bondage, so I don't know why that was a thing, but I'm like, okay, show you do you, and I'll just let you be. But yeah, that was the thing. So overall, once again, fun episode overall, and can't wait to see what the new one happening in just a bit will add. But yeah, that's
Right.
pretty much it for me, though. Got nothing much more to say.
All right then. So let's go. Let's go ahead and wrap this session up for
Alrighty then.
today.
So once again, everybody, thank you guys so much for being with us here tonight. We hope you guys had a fun session of the night with us. Also, what's that noise? That was weird. But
Yeah. Well.
yeah, I just heard a random noise, but whatever. It sounded like a horse galloping over here. But nah, once again, everybody, thank you guys so much for being with us here tonight. We hope you guys had a fun session of stream here for the Antipod. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. I know Tyrone plans on trying to see if he could stream Fall Guys. I will join him for that for sure. He didn't do Fall Guys the other day. I know we want to do Fall Guys or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We're still not sure in regards to that. I think Tyrone doesn't have Deluxe yet, so we can't do that for him. But hopefully he'll get Deluxe soon when it's on sale, and then we'll join him for that. But until then, though, we hope you guys had a fun session for tonight. Once again, thank you, Evie, as well, for joining me for these sessions. Had a lot of fun
Of
discussing the
course.
anime episode and also reacting to Snafu as well. So if you haven't yet, make sure to go and check the description down below. Follow Evie if you haven't yet. I listen, Pika. I'm saying I wouldn't mind doing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I would personally love having some fun with that. I know some others, Tyrone particularly, does not have it. So when Tyrone does get the game, I know for a fact we're gonna be streaming it. So don't worry about that. We will eventually get to that Mario Kart greatness at some point in the distant future. But until then, though, we're gonna go and wrap things up for tonight. We hope you guys, as always, continue to have an awesome day. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Take it easy, guys.